1, the first 3 games are janky, with the earlier releases being the junky. Not sure if it's stream material with how janky it is, lol.
Well, I mean, we didn't play Pathologic 1 for that reason. Talafi, thank you, man, for the 32. So far, Subnautica is my favorite game of the Supportathon. I agree! Well, no, I don't agree. Red Dead was. But I agree that, like, Subnautica is so special, dude. It's so good. I miss Subnautica. It was the most peaceful game ever.
Screen or something?
Yeah, here.
I want to screenshot it to gain knowledge.
It was truly something special. I'm never going back to Pizza Tower. You know what? Actually, that's false. That's false. Never say never. I'm just going to say never say never. We've played so many games that, like, me now, I think, is more accepting of games than I was before.
Aren't you glad I nagged you so hard to play Red Dead and it went so well?
Red Dead's great. Nah, it's the best game. People wanted to see it. That game was suggested endlessly by a lot of people.
The toilet mechanics in Death Stranding were funny.
Toilet mechanics. Well, that was cool. The problem was you just didn't have to use those things. Like, when a game doesn't force you to use mechanics, they're kind of whatever. You know, the pee and poo grenades were very important, but, like, you technically don't have to use them.
Toby's house are screwed.
They have not been doing well lately. Well, I mean, every game... Listen, every game has something to offer. Whether it aligns with what you enjoy or it doesn't, it still is worth experiencing. You know, I would say, yes, it's probably worth going back and redoing System Shock and redoing, you know, games that we never got around to finishing. And again, these weren't games that were part of the event anyways, but at the time, you know, when you played Pizza Tower, I wasn't as accepting. Now that I've played 80 games... and by God, we've played some stinkers.
Nine Souls? I'm reluctant
Someone
to suggest games in the Discord if they've already been
Doesn't matter.
Before.
It's a refresher, if anything. It's a refresher. Just post it again. I don't care. If someone suggested games and it was never picked, do it again. It's a refresher for me when I look through them.
Is Frostpunk a goal yet?
The only goal we have right now that is confirmed is God of War. I actually never did anything beyond God of War, so... God of War was the last one. After God of War, we can pick fresh games. So, you know, again, once you've done so many different things, you kind of do go back and say, hey, you know what? Maybe I was too harsh on some games, or maybe I was too, you know, critical with this and this. Like, as much as I disliked the initial bits of Outer Wilds, by the end of it, I'm glad I played the game, and I actually could say, more so than, you know, the games that it reminds me of, you gotta play Outer Wilds. You need to. You need to experience Outer Wilds, even if you hate the game, in terms of its gameplay, which I can understand thoroughly. The experience of Outer Wilds is like a must-play bucket list game that you will feel something for. It's that good of an experience, 100%. It's just sad. It's a sad game. But
Toby, I do have a suggestion for games. Pay the $9 for the Xbox Game Pass. It should save you a bunch of money.
I mean, all the games that we're getting are usually not too insanely expensive.
To prevent the Glazers from getting mad on the 8.5 score.
No. The story of Outer Wilds is good. It's excellent. It's incredible. Everything about Outer Wilds is like... The gameplay is the worst part of the game, period. That is not a game that you think back and say, man, I enjoyed the gameplay. There's no fucking gameplay. You walk around and press X. Whoa. But that's not the point of the game. It is an exploration, you know, sim in a universe, right? You go around uncovering mysteries. Like, the gameplay is subpar because that's not the focus. And I understand that completely. Make a Discord tab. is anyone able to make tabs in my Discord? Like, can't someone just make... Am I the only person who can make those things?
Funny's over Rainston is here.
True. Like, I guess mods could make the list, no? In Discord, if they wanted to. It doesn't really have to be me. Space Marine's gone then, man. Space Marine was good.
Many awesome games to come on the list. I'm cooming by just glancing at it.
No, keep suggesting them, dude. Keep suggesting them. That's all I'm gonna say. Congrats on nearly reaching bronze. Listen, you idiot. While I was plunging the poop out of my goddamn drains this morning, I did see, when I sat down for lunch, I saw that whoever fucking unleashed that latest video actually, by the end of it, made amends. Was it you? Was that another one of your videos? Where you actually put in the bit where I'm talking about the end of the... Yeah, okay, I knew it. Whatever you... Don't shit on my image! I've done that enough myself! I don't endorse drugs. I endorse good drugs, such as happiness and fulfillment and water and Jameson. I'm unironically at that point where I would be like, man, I know it's a joke, but like, knowing how the internet is, people will unironically think I'm that way. Do you know what I mean? That's where I'm at. Like, nice, I'm not a hard ass. Like, oh my god, you're killing my image. But you know, it's. I don't want people getting the wrong idea. It's the internet. You can't trust everyone's going to have like a level-headed. You know, oh, it was a joke. Oh, really? Okay. People will think that shit's real. You know. God forbid I've done probably worse over the years. I mean, half the videos used to be bitching and crying 24/7, but. You know, drugs bad. Drugs bad. Even I laughed at that bit. Even I did. That was a good bit. I'm not gonna shit on you for that bit. That was an excellent bit. It was very funny. But for the sake of like, you know, some people who unironically think that like, you know, that's how I think. Again, it won't lose me sleep, but old man Tobias, you know, it's not a good thing to.
I demand that editor's name.
He's right there. He's right there. He typed above you. They already hate you for being silver. It can't get worse. Wait, so everyone hates me for something that I'm just enjoying? Is that just what the internet is? People hate good things. People hate when you have fun. People hate when you enjoy yourself, but they don't. What's that about, dude? You know, he was dead if I had Ignite. Or not Ignite, sorry, if I had W. People are fucking miserable. Dude, I have... you know what? It really just is coming to terms with, like, just... enjoying games. You know? You don't gotta sit here and fucking grease over 5 LP, you know? You can still have fun and be competitive. You can still have fun and try to win some league games, you know? Nice. Like, dude. That's not a crime.
So your toilet was overflowing with fizz mains, I see.
Worse. British. Sanchovies was flaming me for being silver. What the fuck? Sanchovy, he's a good guy. He means well. He lives in the same city as me. He's moving downtown. Oh, God. Condolences.
An enemy has been slain.
You didn't advertise this event for shit. I haven't said anything about this event. I'm just doing my thing.
Now. Man needs food.
Pizza. We could talk about pizza all day. Pizza's awesome.
How much peer pressure would it take before you go full sweatpine mode again in League?
I don't think... Well... that's something I actually would probably be doing once this event ends. I'd consider like a Graves climb. I don't think we'd completely phase out variety, but the reason we're able to do so much variety as it is because everyone supports it so incredibly. You know, you can't just up and leave what you've done for the sake of something that, you know, it doesn't really pay the bills. You know, like, I can't stream if, you know, I'm not really making any money.
Say? We can talk about Pizza Tower all day. Chat, you heard him. Unleash the Pizza Tower.
Talk about whatever you want, man. That's a weird game, though. I don't know. I can't get behind that game. It's so strange. But, you know, again, for the sake of streaming, like, you guys have allowed me to do this stuff, and it's incredible. So, you know, for what it is, variety's awesome. People love it. People support it, and I'm all for that stuff. It's great. But, you know, like I said, you can't really just up and leave and do something else. You know, some months are excellent. Some months are, you know, the bills ain't, they can't get paid. But that's just what it is when it comes to streaming, right? It's all through the generosity of people, and, you know, you get on, you do what you do, and if people support you and your vision, that's awesome. Well, views don't necessarily equate to paying bills.
What made you want to do this?
Just because you have a sale.
A lot of League streamers switch to variety recently.
Really? I have not caught up on that stuff, but it was a sale through. It was a Black Friday sale. I said, you know what? We never do shit like this. Subs are like 50% off. Why not give it a try? And
okay,
I figured it would be
now
like...
This is far-fetched, but how about getting a Switch and playing through some icons like Mario Odyssey or some of the Zelda games?
Listen, I am not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to that. We got a PlayStation. So, you know. Best this shit. Well, it was an interesting one. I mean, again, people seem to really like this shit, and it's awesome, you know? Through this event, I came to realize that I actually enjoy more games than just League. Surprisingly. I figured it would just kind of be League forever, but, like, you know, Red Dead Redemption, Subnautica, all these games are truly life-changing. You think so much differently about things. I'm not saying, like, oh god, Subnautica saved me, and I'm a different man because of it, but, like... life-changing in the sense that, like, you will appreciate so much more in media. You will appreciate what gaming truly has to offer. You know? It's just that it's incredible. I've always liked movies. I've always liked universes, but, you know, I've been addicted to League for like 12 years.
Adult toy. League is horrid.
Well, I was addicted to League. And, you know, I enjoy playing League. I like it. But how do I know people like variety? You know, we went from doing food stuff. I say, okay, guys, you know, support-a-thon. Let's see where this takes us. And I say, I'll eat chicken feet. I'll eat chicken hearts. I'll eat a bunch of dog shit. You know, 1,000 subs, whatever, right? The timer goes up, all that jazz. People loved it. Awesome. So we continue, and instead of eating food, we did variety games, and people supported the variety games. You guys showed me that you wanted variety games. And so because of that, we were still able to do it. And, you know, thousands of subs later now, we're still doing variety, and it's awesome. But, you know, that is something that, like, as a content creator where your income is so, you know, jumbled, it's so varied, right? And you can't literally just leave your livelihood to try something new. If I did that and, you know, you can't pay the bills, well, I can't be a streamer anymore, right? That's just the reality of work, right? You know, especially when your audience is kind of your lifeline. Like, you guys are my life. You've made my life. You've allowed me to stream. You've allowed me to do something that I love. You know, you've built this community, and so have I, of course, to where it is today.
Good luck with the games. Cheers.
Average, thank you, sir. Oh, we got a lot of games. A lot of games planning. Or, sorry, planned out. But, you know, it is cool to see that people love shit like this, you know? In a completely platonical way. Well, I mean, I don't say that lightly. You guys made my life. You've paid my rent. You've given me food. You've done everything for me, for Mochi, for Ivana. You've given me my life.
We give you a lot of hard time, but
I don't say that lightly, man. Like, you really have. Thanks. Hey, you're welcome. Are we your sugar daddy? Possibly. But, you know, that's what content creation is. You know? You put things out there and you show your interest to other people, and, you know, if someone out there finds that interesting and, you know, enjoys what you do and wants to support you, that's great. You can be a content creator. But, you know, if people don't see that vision, if people don't enjoy what you do, then you just can't do it. You know? You become a part of my daily routine on and off work. I guess you mean something, man. Hey, I just do my thing, man. I get on, we play games, we have a good time, and, you know, I'm able to do it for a living. All thanks to you guys, and it's awesome. A super yacht. Super yacht. I don't want a yacht. I want a basement. I miss my basement. I miss the cold subterranean realm of Mother's basement. Well, streaming, being an entrepreneur is... Am I an entrepreneur? I essentially sell myself. I sell a product. But that product is just what I do. I mean, again,
it's a little odd and could be temporary, but watching you play games scratches the itch that playing video games myself would give me.
People, well, you know why, though? People enjoy watching, like, you see on YouTube. You see on YouTube, like, you know, game playthroughs and things like that. And, I think they're awesome. I used to watch maybe one or two here and there, you know, big long playthroughs, and it's either you just don't have time to do it, or you're interested and you kind of don't want to.
Canadian, and I don't even know any Canadians. I don't even know you. Who are you again?
I don't even know myself. Listen, I've had a few train wrecks in my lifetime. Maybe I am Dutch.
You're my third favorite streamer.
Thank you. Hey, we've streamed a long time. We have been here a while. Look at this. I still believe Dutch was a good guy, just saying. I firmly believe Dutch was a good man. God. What do you even do here? I believe Dutch had good intentions, and then things went south. That's all I'm going to say. He was not a good man, but, like, at one point he cared. At one point, it was more than just the money. At one point, he had a vision. He had a plan. And that plan fell through.
To be honest, you look and behave like Trevor from GTA 5.
Was he the sane one in the story? Plan! Have some faith! He said a lot of that shit. Dude, I actually thought about trying to meet the voice actors at, like, a Comic-Con. I have never really cared. You know what? Again, like I said, with the support that I've gotten, with the whole event, everything, you guys have given me a chance, and a lot of people a chance, to experience games, to experience the stories and the beauty in gaming. And for the people who say gaming is a waste of time, So is watching movies. So is anything in that regard, right? Like, it's all just content that is made with usually love, hopefully love, that, you know, is just great to kind of escape with. Like, it's incredible. Gaming is awesome. I used to glaze movies. You know, when I would stream League throughout the years, my big thing was movies and music. And I never really thought about gaming as anything like that, right? Like, music, easy to, you know, digest. A movie, you sit down and watch. Very simplistic things to kind of get on with. Games you have to play. They're experiences you have to kind of put effort into. It is, but it's the same thing.
To be our form of entertainment.
Gaming is fucking awesome. Gaming is awesome, and I am thoroughly on board with the creative, the stories, everything.
Game calls, I watched them from you.
You know what, though, man? A lot of these games are more experiences than anything. I don't think you need to, like, sit down and play a game and say, man, it was so fun and I want to play more of it. Like, sure, but... games for me are like movies. Games for me are these experiences that you enjoy once and it stays with you forever. You know? Not to say that you can't go back and replay games. A lot of people do that stuff. But for me, I really enjoy that one and done. I really enjoy that, like, journey, the experience of being...
You, Tobias.
What are you to what? Shh. Listen, Mochi does not want to hear that. Mochi will rip out your jugular. But, you know, games are awesome. Games are awesome. Games are amazing. You say that as you play League over and over. Well, we play League... League is less of an experience and more of just something for fun. Not to say that, you know, storied games aren't fun or anything, but, like, those games are more...
This stream is sponsored by Microsoft. We paid Tobias $3 million to say gaming is okay.
Gaming is good.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
We need a Tobias 1 size human below.
It'd be the size of the room. It'd be bigger than Jabba. Again, not every game's gonna be cinema, but, like, we've played a lot of bangers.
Tobias Fate, he ain't just a streamer. He's a visionary. They call him mad, they call him a troll, but I call him free. And I'm telling you, folks, all he needs is one good Graves game. Now who's coming? The whole story of Red Dead Redemption 2 is sprinkled with hints that Dutch was always an arrogant manipulator.
No, I believe it.
Made him worse and more impatient, but he always preferred to outlaw life, pretending to fight the government while really benefiting off inflicted violence and misery.
That is true. By the end of it, you see that full force. Yeah, I believe it.
Play whenever I want to chat with my friends, not play a video game.
League is the most video gamey it could be. Right, CS:GO, Overwatch, these are all video games. They're not really experiences.
Would you like to play any Star Wars story games, or that's not her thing?
Leave it. It's not about what my thing is. It's about what you want. Leave it in the Discord. I don't suggest my own games. You guys do. If you leave games in the Discord, I don't give a fuck what it is. It could be Star Wars. It could be anything. I will sift through them. And, you know, we usually reflect on, like, the games we've played previously and say, you know what? We haven't played a Star Wars game. We haven't done this. We haven't done Assassin's Creed. Leave it in the Discord. Toxic, peace, buddy. Just leave it there. I don't care what it is. Not to say that, oh, I don't care, you know, your opinions don't matter. I mean, I don't care what the game is, as in, all games are on the table. Right? And whatever I put on that list, you know, people still want to support it, and that means people want it, you know, and that's awesome. So,
I don't recall us putting the game that is me side.
Nice.
That was you, wasn't it?
So me side was there in Discord, and I believe it was in Discord. And if it wasn't, that unironically might have been me, because it was such a left fielder. I believe it might have been one of those two things. It might have been talked about it briefly, but, like, not really, you know, supported that much, right? It's an anime game. But we've never played an anime game. And I'm like, you know what? Why not? That's a weird fucking experience. Hendrix, thank you, sir.
Honestly, I think some clips of you reacting to the editor's diabolical work would be cash money.
Really? I mean, that last bit was fucking weird. That last bit was, you know, he knows what he did. He knows what he did. He made amends. I played Doki Doki. Listen, I am not opposed to anime games.
It was amazing.
I laughed. I did laugh. It was a very smart thing to do. I sound like someone who doesn't even understand memes. Like, oh, that bit was so smart. The way he clipped together me out of context, that is a smart move, son. You're an awesome kid, man. That's cool of you, dude. Killer. Right? Like, it was a funny move, we'll say. Okay, we can't play porn games, guys. I'm talking about games that people would actively, genuinely want to see. We do sometimes. I'm not gonna go play your hentai gooner games. That shit's for, like, degenerates. You know, if you want to link whatever games on Steam, it can't be, you know, cringe ones, right? Wukong is not played yet, no. I will never take game suggestions through Twitch. If you want anything, you gotta leave it in the Discord. That way it won't go anywhere, it'll stay there, your suggestion will be looked at.
Plan Arthur. Arthur, I got a plan Arthur. We hit the Federal
says that a lot.
Reserve next. Make it out
Okay.
with all the money in the country. Then
Really?
we go on pretending like we aren't the targets of a nationwide manhunt. Then
Is
we'll
that-
do another small bank heist and then it's Tahiti for us.
Jesus. But then it falls through and he's like, we gotta hit more banks. We gotta hit more trains. No, you are right, though. He was this master manipulator. I think even in... you feel so conflicted because, like, he will do things... If you view him that way, which, in a way, I guess that's, by the end of it, what it was. He would use other people to kind of get what he wants. I'll still give it to Dutch. Going after the Braithwaites, that was a big cojones move. Going after the Braithwaites for Jack, that was a power move. Why would he write out personally? You know, just to show that, oh, you can trust me, let's go, guys. Family, one for all for one. Maybe, but, like, you know...
When we playing League
he
of
did
Legends
stuff.
2.
He did go out and do things. League 2. Hang on. You inbred trash! That was sick. They'd never do League 2.
An enemy has been slain.
He saved a child. What an awesome man. I mean, he's... Dutch is cool.
All part of the plan.
Oh, it was the plan. No one knew the plan. Well, I guess he did say it was to go to Tahiti with money. That was the plan. You know, make enough money to retire to Tahiti. And then eventually everyone's like, wait, what? What are we doing? Haven't we been after Tahiti for like 3 years? What is the plan? It's funny. But he's... Bro, remember when you're on that island and you had that poor little old Spanish lady or something and she was like... And then he's like, what the hell? Ah! She would have betrayed us, Arthur. She would have betrayed us. He didn't even take the gold back. It was Guarma. Yeah. I don't know. He went insane. It was the old crone in the cave who said, like, oh, I'll get you through the island. You know, we just want, here, you got to give me a bit of gold, right? He just fucking choked her out. Like, what the hell was that? I knew she would kill us, yeah.
Because you told him to try it.
Okay, I'm sure. Did they have Fent in the 1800s? They had Fenton. Young Fenton! My brother choked out mother in her sleep. Young Fenton. I don't even do damage.
And Dutch didn't even get the gold
He didn't.
back from said crone.
He did not. He left her there. I might play a bit of the fighting game, but it won't be something serious.
Enemy killing spree.
Cocaine was
May I
legal
take
and
you for a
recommended by
dance,
doctors.
Tobias?
Dance? Buddy, I can't even move. I might knock you out with my giant man knockers. They swing around like a Beyblade. I'm like a fucking dwarf doomseeker with giant boobies. Instead of twirling blades. Ayo! I don't know if you guys ever fucked with Beyblades. I don't know if you guys ever fucked with Beyblades growing up, but like, there used to be illegal mods for Beyblades, and one of my stepbrothers,
People who play anime games smell like a McDonald's plague pin.
That's some good nostalgia, bro. They were so good. What the metal parts, yeah. I ripped my hand open because of those metal parts. I just realized I don't have Umbral. I ripped my hand open with said metal blades. It is awful.
Honestly, I also think Dutch was just extremely jealous of Bronte and Cornwall, two men similar to himself, but successful in a new world, where he was being left behind and all his bigger heists pretty much failed. I think he got paranoid and insane when John planned to
You know, there's a lot...
Pegasus had to be nerfed. I bunnies with BB heavy.
I have no clue what that is. You know, it isn't explicitly explained what Dutch was doing. You could still kind of, like, put the pieces together and say, okay, this guy is kind of insane. But, you know, there wasn't any explicit, like, this was the plan. Even when Dutch was on his deathbed, essentially, he's like, I got a plan, Arthur. You can't fight gravity, you can't do this. They're gonna find someone to pay their bills, and then he jumps off a cliff. It's like, by the end of it, the guy was still cryptic as hell. I mean, I got what he was saying a little bit, but, like, you know, there wasn't any...
Arthur, trust the plan, Arthur. I need you strong and focused, son. Only one more fight with the army, Arthur, and then it's Tahiti for us, Arthur. Trust the plan.
You know, there was a bit when he used the indigenous. I mean, you saw how... I mean, at that point, you knew what he was going to do. You knew what Dutch was about at that point. Do it in the main Discord. There should be a channel that says game suggestions. Leave your suggestions in that Discord.
It was the exact same speech that Dutch gave to the American soldiers when he and Arthur were surrounded before jumping off the cliff onto a creek.
I know. No, he did, yeah. He went back and, you know, talked about... They're more so like references, right? Like, oh yeah, he talked about gravity, and oh yeah, he talked about this. It's like, oh, I remember. Oops. Pretty good damage. Hello, just kill him. He's like trolling. What? That might be the first person I've seen in low elo probably not use lock cam. I think that Zach was playing off lock cam.
What in the silver players am I watching?
I don't know. Arthur deserved better. Arthur, you know what? Everyone deserved what they got in Red Dead. Everybody deserved what they got, because they're all thugs. They don't deserve happy endings. Unfortunately, even John got what he deserved. Like, that's just the life you live, man. When you're a thug, you know? Everything you do in that game, you feel like you're part of something. You feel like, you know, what you're doing is for your family, for your gang, right? Even Hosea deserved what he got, yeah. Except Sadie. Well, Sadie didn't pass away. It's just, it's sad. It is sad, but, like, that's the life you live, and that's the outcome for that stuff. Those who live by the sword die by the sword. Yeah. That was them. Not everyone, though. I mean, a few guys just stayed at camp and, you know, made food and shit like that with, like, you know, Pearson and whatnot, but... You really root for the villains. They are the villains. In your mind, what you're doing is awesome. It's for the family. On the receiving end, you're murdering fathers, mothers. You're robbing businessmen. You know, you're fucking killing people just for looking at you wrong. They're just bad people. But you get a sense of that, but, like, you know, everything you still do is in the hopes of your grand vision.
Something else. Why is it that every 3 weeks you have a toilet incident?
That was not 3 weeks. We had an incident maybe a few days ago, and it got resolved. It was flushing, and this morning it would not move. What about Lenny? Well, Lenny was a gang member. They all were. You know, and when you're in that crowd, you know, when you're with those people, you're inviting shit like that to happen. Even if you are some, you know, young gun, you know, like, oh, I want to go out and enjoy life, and yeah, let's go steal a few, you know, dollars, right? Like, oh, sure. Oh, it's so harmless. And then eventually, you know, they start delving into, like, train heists and all this other stuff, and, you know, you just get looped into that life. Right? Sure, there are people in that gang who have done a lot less than others, but, like, you're in the crossfire. That's just... Lenny did join them with the bank robbery. You know? Okay, I thought I would insta-kill her. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I crit.
Comes with the worst occupational hazard, death.
Yeah. It's guilt by association. When you're walking around with a bunch of wanted men and you've stolen $5, like, you're not gonna be... You're gonna join them.
Arthur, I have a plan, Arthur. We have to invest all our money into NFTs and game a girl bathwater.
Really?
Now, Arthur. Stick to the plan, Arthur. Just a couple more NFTs to sell and it's Tahiti for us, Arthur.
NFTs.
Tahiti, Arthur.
I feel like Dutch would be a pretty good crypto, bro. Dutch would, like, really... He would do the rug pulls. He would get you to buy. Dutch is a businessman. $5 and $18.99 is 200 Canadian dollars. That's a lot of money. I would say, listen, I gotta glaze Red Dead a little bit more. Red Dead, to me, out of all the games we played, has the best human characters ever. They're so fun. They're so evil. They're so human. They're so sad.
Have you tried Assassin's Creed?
They are.
Flag?
I played that game. Oh, God! It's true, though. You like Red Dead or something? You never talk about it. You shouldn't have showed me that game. For everyone who begged me to play Red Dead, this is what you fucking deserve. This is what you get. You showed me that game, I'm hooked. It's just, it is the greatest game I've ever played. You get what you deserve, bro.
Before being
it's true.
Something illegal and depraved, nobody thought he'd be involved in.
There's nothing too low for Dutch.
No, you look like one of them, Glazer.
I am. I'm a full-blown glazer. Jeez. Collector is completely irrelevant. The goo's coming back! The goo! Jesus. Dutch is Cowboy Walter White. You know, people hated Walter. I liked Walter. I didn't like Jesse. I actually liked Walt. I did not like Jesse, though. I'm sorry, I didn't. I found him annoying. What? I mean, there was a few scenes where he was like the bro. I don't know. He's speaking the truth. Okay, we can all agree unanimously. Press 1 if you can hear my voice. We will be agreeing unanimously on this upcoming sentence. This upcoming fact. A fact is truthful. Mike Ehrmantraut is the best character in Breaking Bad. Press 1 if you agree. Yep. Mike Ehrmantraut. Yep. Yes, sir. We can all agree. If you press 2, you're a freak. Leave it to the British guy to press 2. Mike Ehrmantraut's the GOAT. 100%. 100%. Mike is the GOAT.